Hey guys, Sav here, and today's Fractal Friday video is my first impressions of the Nightmare Fractal. This is my actual very first run in the Nightmare Fractal that I have on video here. So I'm not going to be able to be nearly as detailed in this video as I was in my Snowblind or Swampland videos. I've done the Snowblind, Swampland probably 100 times. So this is my very first time going through the Nightmare Fractal. And I just kind of want to give first impressions on it. I don't know all the. You'll see. I'm kind of timid. Normally, when I really know what I'm doing, I'm usually running in the front and almost leading the way. I'm kind of being a follower here, playing a little bit more timidly than usual. You'll see me probably die more often than usual. Not necessarily die, go down. We did wipe, I believe, 3 or 4 times. I could cut those out of this video, just for time's sake, because it was probably a 40-minute video. I cut it down to whatever it is now. Don't be ashamed to wipe here, guys. This is Fractal 100. It's supposed to be difficult, and it's the most difficult Fractal they put in the game, far and away, I think, at this point. However, they did difficult right, I believe, in this Fractal. Now, this is obviously my first impressions, early impressions. A lot of times in the past, previously, they would do difficult as DPS sponges, and I don't feel like anything is a super DPS sponge here. Maybe the final boss is a little spongy, but probably for good reason. It makes the fight last longer, and because it's so spongy, you definitely get to see a lot more mechanics. There's a lot of mechanics in that battle, in that final fight. And on the way to that final boss there's 2 bosses beforehand, this boss and another boss. I don't know their names yet. I will learn their names before I do my breakdown, my full Fractal breakdown video. But at the moment I don't know their names. But like there's the mechanics just like this right here. We have to run into the shield because the whole room turns into a big giant AoE. I don't know what kind of damage it does to you. Fortunately, I never got caught in any of them. He's got all kinds of CC mechanics. These little orange glowy ball things. There's a lot to take in, and for a first time going in here, it might seem overwhelming. You just kind of be ready to dodge and be ready to move. Don't dodge all the time. If you just try to dodge everything, you're never going to be able to make it through because you're going to run out of dodging. You're not going to have enough energy to dodge, and you're going to end up taking a lot of damage. So make sure you're strafing around, you're moving around a lot, moving to the left, moving to the right, run away from mechanics whenever possible, jump. There's a lot of things in this Fractal that you can simply just jump to avoid. So make sure you're learning, you learn that, figure out what you can jump and what you can't jump, and don't just try to dodge everything. Because if you try to dodge everything, I guess you're going to take a lot of damage. Helps take a necro too with the second health bar, especially on your first go around because you're probably going to need it. Anyway, so there's this boss, and then there's a middle boss. Before this boss, there was, I believe, 2 trash mobs. Between this boss and the next boss, there's another set of trash mob, and there's also a capture mechanic thing, which will come into play on the final boss, where you basically have to avoid a bunch of little red spheres and then blue spheres coming at you, and stay within a certain distance of this giant sphere to capture it. You'll just have to see it when it comes up, I guess, to kind of understand what's going on. The point of it is to basically avoid as much of the damage as possible and stay in the circle to capture the point, I guess, if you will. And you'll see there's actually twice where it comes up in the boss battle where you have to basically do the same thing. And it's not easy to do, guys. It's really not. It's really not easy to do. As you see, I cut out a couple wipes. That's actually what we're coming to right here. And you can see the circle around it. That's the area that you have to stand in order to capture it, if you will. And you can see as I'm entering it here, there's a lot going on in this little circle. You can jump these. I'm trying to jump them as you hear off and on, but I found it easier to just kind of follow them around the circle. At times that's not going to be possible, and jumping might be the better way. And I jumped a few of them there. And then to make matters worse, they throw some trash mobs into it as well. So you kind of have to try to pull the trash mobs out, kill them before going in, and then go in and capture it. There's 3 of these. The reason why we wiped as many times as we did, I want to say twice, but it might have been 3 times we wiped on it. Is we tried to do the middle one first. It actually helps to do the right and left ones before you do the middle one, because it'll actually slow the pace of the middle one down. At least it appeared to do so. I'm not 100% sure of that. But it made the middle one easier. I'll put it that way. So do the left and the right one first, and then do the middle one. I do believe there's an achievement for doing the middle one first that I believe people were trying to do, and we just weren't succeeding. So unless you're trying to get the achievement, do the left and the right ones first. It makes the middle one a lot easier to do. Also, those you'll see it again as we go to the other side. This platform here, as you're coming up before you capture it, has like a bunch of AOE's on it. Actually, somebody looks like they did it on the other side. There's a bunch of AOE's on that platform as you're going up the ramp there. You have to dodge through them. You can't jump them. You can't just take the damage, because it's pretty. It does a lot of damage if you get stuck in those AOE's, and it will probably insta-down you. So make sure you dodge your way up that platform. Another effect of this middle capture point here is actually, like, you might have just saw it, and hopefully it goes off again. There's like a little a ring of explosion that goes off. And there it goes right there. You have to jump that, or it just knocks you out. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but what it'll do is it'll knock you down, and you'll take a lot of damage from everything else. So that's definitely something you can definitely jump. And you don't have to jump it, I believe, as it's going in, only when it's coming out. So we finished that. We're going on. I believe there's a little trash mob here. Again, here's the platform with the another ramp with like exploding. You have to dodge these AoE explosions. I don't know if there's a way to turn it off. I guess when you get to the top, maybe there's a way to turn it off. I was all the way in the back, so I'm not 100% sure. As you can see, I was kind of struggling with it. I believe you can jump it. I don't believe at least in this instance, you can jump it. However, I just went shroud form and ran through it. I'm gonna shut up for a minute so you guys can hear the sound effects here. Guys, the sound in this dungeon, or this fractal, is absolutely just incredible. Definitely turn your volume up when you go into this dungeon. The sounds, the noises, everything. The talking of the bosses, which you can kind of barely hear in my video, unfortunately. There's just some incredible sound in this dungeon. Turn your volume up. If you play with low volume, or you play with music playing or something like that, I'm telling you, you gotta listen to this fractal. It is absolutely freaky at times. It is really cool to listen to. Definitely listen to it. It's amazing. Anyway, so there's a lot of mechanics going on here as well. As you can see, he's got the little red balls coming at us as well. There's no safety shield for that room wiping whatever AoE. You kind of just have to CC him before that AoE fills the room. Also, you can see right here is the barf mechanic. I call it. I guess it's called. I don't exactly know. I believe you're throwing up. So you'll get this little triangle cone AoE in front of you, and it basically is wherever you're facing. So if you turn around and face the other direction, it'll face the other direction with you. So that's what you want to do. You want to not barf on your allies. If you barf on your allies, it will basically start a chain effect. They'll get the AoE thing again, and it'll damage them as well. And then they'll have to barf again, so they'll get the AoE again. So what it could happen is it could just keep chaining around. If they in turn barf on somebody else, and then it could just go around and around and around and around. So you definitely don't want that to happen. So the best thing to do is just kind of quit your DPS for a second, turn around, and make sure you don't barf on your allies. Again, I don't really know a whole lot of mechanics. He does have some trash mobs, as you can see here. You want to pull them as close to him as you can. Now, we're Necros, so we're just going to Epi. But if I would assume like you're doing LEs or anything with a lot of AOE, you just want to kind of AOE like the middle of the room and pull as many of those ads to the middle of the room as possible to him, and try to AOE them down. As you can see, they're kind of connected to you, so they're going to come right to you. So if you go basically just run to the middle of the room, all those ads will go to the middle of the room as well. As you can see, the vomit mechanic starts picking up a lot more, so it becomes fairly chaotic. And again, this is not the challenge mode, guys. This is just normal Fractal 100. I'm kind of running out of things to say, so I am going to turn the volume back up, and I will see you guys again at the boss battle.
Here we are. This will be our most ambitious and lethal challenge today. But with great risks come great rewards.
I've got the target.
Oh my god, that sound when he drops down is borderline nauseating. It's awesome sound, man. It's so cool. So anyway, this is the final boss. Again, I apologize, I don't know their names. Hopefully you can see it on the screen right now. Yeah, it's a long battle here, guys. Be prepared for a long fight. This is Mitrin-esque length in time commitment here, and we've already done, a whole dungeon before this. This is a long fight. It has a lot of mechanics. We just saw the one where he kind of like teleports and then like floats across the room. That attack will knock you with him and do a lot of damage to you. You see he has like that explosion thing, which is actually like a chain of AoEs. It's hard to explain, but you basically, if you try to dodge, unless you're a thief and have 3 dodges, you're not going to be able to dodge all 3 mechanics. You have to be able to jump one of the mechanics, which you can. The explosion mechanic you can jump. The other 2 you can dodge. As you see, he has like the room wiper with the shield that you have to get into. As you can see, I keep failing at this like triple like attack thing. I'm going to fail at it repeatedly. I think I might have gotten it like once or twice throughout this entire battle. And again, it helps a lot to be a Necro here with the second health bar, with all the self-healing. Dude, I'm telling you, if you haven't to this point figured out that Necro is the best thing you can take into scale 100, scale T4 fractals, scale 100, scale 76 through 100, you need to go make yourself a Condi Necro, like ASAP. It is so good for these hard fractals, because the DPS isn't great, but you will live forever. Anyway. And as you'll see at some point, I won't live forever. I will die a few times. The AoEs in this battle are crazy. I've seen the challenge mode AoEs. They're not nearly as crazy as the challenge mode AoEs, but it's still pretty crazy. Again, getting back to the length of this fight. This fight is a long battle, guys. Oh, look, I actually did it. I did it right that time. This fight is a long battle. With a lot of mechanics. As you can see here, there's the capture mechanic I was talking about earlier. Finally coming to effect. Now, in an ideal situation, you want one person in each one of these, and somebody kind of came to my bubble here, if you will. There's explosions going on. There's all these little circles going on. You have to dodge the circles, move away from the little spheres, dodge the circles. You can jump. There's just a lot to do here, and like I said, in a perfect situation, there's 5 of them, so you want one of each of your party members in each of these circles. I also learned that if you do completely die in this phase, you will insta-res once the phase is over. A little forgiving, if you will. I don't know if it's that way in the challenge mode, but at least in this mode, if you die completely, you will insta-res once that phase is over, as long as somebody from your party survives. As you can see, I just keep not dodging any of that mechanic. I'll get it eventually. I'm sure there's a tell that I'm missing. As you can also see, there's like poison around the edge of the room now. That will grow as we go through this, so it kind of makes the arena a little bit smaller, which makes obviously the battle that much more difficult. There's another AoE mechanic there. Like, there's just so much going on, guys. Eventually I'll have a breakdown video and be able to explain everything that happens in this fight, but as of right now, take it in and enjoy it. Once he gets to 15% health, I believe it was 15% health, we go to kind of like a final phase where we have to stay in the shield the whole time, and then it gets absolutely freaking insane. So I'm going to stop talking here, turn the volume back up, let you guys listen to it, and first impressions, guys, this Fractal is awesome. Absolutely awesome. If you haven't tried it, if you're afraid of doing it on Fractal 100, try it on a lower level, and just get in here and experience this Fractal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.
contract to the recklessness has her letter. I'll take the orb. You take solace in knowing your destructive exuberance has at least balanced the ledger between us. I can reconstruct the diaphanous diffraction randomizer, and you no longer have to feel guilty for derailing my mission. Now excuse me, I'm here for more than tourism and indiscriminate pillaging. You're of no further